It's Sunderland at home. It's the preview show. We thought we'd ask Sam Long what it feels like to play against the team he supported as a boy.
Well, Longy, I've stepped on it, you've stepped on it. I think Tuesday night, if the goalkeeper didn't have such an incredible performance, we would have got something out of that game.
Yeah, I think, it proves it. He got man of the match, didn't he? I'll be very surprised if he didn't. We dominated the game. We obviously conceded 2 sloppy goals, in our opinion, and we know that, but we had plenty of chances to win the game. And like you say, we found a keeper again that was on very good form and produced some unbelievable saves. But we need to dust ourselves down and go again, because Saturday's a huge game.
That's exactly right, isn't it? You're straight back in, you'll be working hard, full focus is on Saturday. That is behind us now. Yeah,
it has to be. You can't dwell on it too much, because if we lose Saturday, it's going to be even worse. Do you know what I mean? So we need to dust ourselves down as quickly as possible. Starting today, we go out there and work on what we need to work on, and full focus is on Saturday.
Yeah, this team has come up against challenges throughout the season. That will stand you in good stead, I think. You've just got to pick yourself up and go again.
Absolutely, like I say, I think 5 games left. We've got 5 cup finals left, and I think if we can start with a win on Saturday, especially with someone that we're battling to get into that playoff place with us, it's a 6-pointer. Like, I know it's cliche to say, but it is, and if we can get a good result there, it will give us a good platform to then go on to the last 4 games of the season and hopefully get us in them playoffs.
And home form has continued to be strong throughout the season as well. It's a place where you're always going to back yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, especially with it's going to be a sellout as well. So we've got a full house to behind us, and we know that we're good at home. It's going to be tough for them to come here and get a result, and we've got to make it tough for them to get a result here. And hopefully we can turn up and play like we have. Say we played on Tuesday night, because I think the performance was really good.
Yeah.
I think we created some good chances, and like you say, we missed a few, but we also, the keeper obviously pulled off some very good saves. So if we just play to our strengths and do what we're good at, and I think hopefully we'll be in a good place to get the 3 points.
Yeah, when you're still creating chances, that's not the time to worry. It's when you stop doing that. It really is, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Like at the back, some of the link-up play, the rotations, and it's a joy to watch really sometimes, and especially Tuesday night. But it was frustrating. The ball just was not going in the net, and like you say, it's a worry when we're not creating chances. So if we can just brush up on them slight what's the word, finer details, and in the final third, I think we'll be fine. And if we can put that right Saturday, the sooner the better.
And as you mentioned, it's going to be a complete sellout. We've just found out it is a complete sellout on Saturday. The crowd can play a massive part, can't they?
Absolutely, and they have done this season already. Some of the games that they've turned out in their numbers this year has been something that I've never seen at Oxford. So that's fantastic that they're doing it again, and hopefully we can repay them with a good performance in 3 points.
There's a lot to fit into this preview show. Let's have a look at what the women are up to. They're playing Bridgewater away, and here's the manager, Liam Gilbert. I don't really understand it. You've scored 7 goals, 9 goals, and yet you slipped to 3rd. How's that happened?
Other teams have caught up their games in hand.
But not over?
Not yet. Nothing mathematically is finished, but obviously everything's out of your control now, which is never what we want. But we'll just keep going until the end of the season. We want to finish with as high a points tally as possible.
Speaking to Carl, and he said we love a challenge, we're not out of it and stuff. Somehow you ended up playing catch up with the 2 above you, and is it 5 away games on the bounce?
Yeah,
so you've got everything against you, haven't you?
Yes, and I won't speak about my actual opinion on that, but yes, yeah. 5 away games in a row, which again, it's another challenge which we'll take in our stride.
In the middle of that, you've got to play. You still have to play Ipswich and Southampton, don't you? So that does open up possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean. It's not. I mean, they've still got to win all their games, and they've still got to take care of their business, which, as you've seen over the last few weeks, they're more than capable of. But you never know what could happen in football.
Starting this Sunday. Who have you got this Sunday?
Bridgewater this Sunday, which will be a very tough game. They're very good at home, and we're not as good as we can be away from home. So hopefully it's something we can start to put right, especially with the run of away games we've got coming up.
So the scholars at Oxford United, as well as being very good at football, they continue their education. We often have a guest speaker in. Paul Mortimer used to play for Charlton, Bristol City, played at the very highest level. He came in to talk to them about Sporting Chance and what they can offer. So we thought, let's let him explain it to you as well. I'm lucky, I remember seeing you play. You're a very, very fine player.
Thank you very much.
I would say that even if you were rubbish.
You killed me now.
No, you were a good player.
Thank you.
You're now in here. Explain for the people at home what I've just heard you saying to the scholars. What's the purpose of your visit today?
The purpose of the visit today is to sort of, it's almost like the first step in young players understanding the importance of caring for their mental health and well-being. It's an educational thing, but it's about helping them to recognise that this is an emotional environment, and to consider the emotions that they experience, and to understand the behaviours that can come from those emotions that sometimes they're not even aware of, and the behaviour traits that can come from those emotions can sometimes be somewhat destructive for young people.
When you were a young player yourself, that's up to you to discover it. It was left to your own devices, basically.
Yeah, it was. You literally were, if you're performing on the pitch, that's absolutely fine. And it's not that people didn't care about what else happened, they just never paid any attention to it, because they left you as the responsible one to be able to, as you've just said, be able to deal with your emotional challenges, which as a young man, especially in that environment with a lot of freedom and money and things like that, it was a recipe for disaster for some of us.
Sporting Chance, which is what you're connected with, people know the name of Tony Adams.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of former pros like yourself involved in this now?
Yes, there are. I mean, and it's not just pros. It's athletes from all sports. But what happens is, they come on board just to talk about their personal experiences, because there's nothing better for the young players to listen to than an older player who's gone through the system like they have, and what they've come out at the other end is slightly harmed or damaged by what they've experienced, and they can talk openly about the way that they dealt with it, which possibly wasn't as positive as you'd like.
Oh no, so I wish this could be a 20-minute interview and your taxi's waiting. When you were a young player making it out, any sign of weakness was seized upon. It wasn't, you didn't have anybody to talk to, did you?
Well, no, you didn't, but you see, again, managers back then would highlight weakness.
Yeah.
And it was a no-no. So you knew, it was drummed into you time and time again. Look at the weak spot for that player, because you don't want to be weak. And so you were literally drip-fed the fact that you cannot show weakness. So what we showed was bravado, was arrogance, was humour, things like that, defiance. But our emotions, we had to suppress.
What I didn't know about Sporting Chance until just now, I thought people came and approach you when they had a major big problem.
Yeah.
It's not that. Small problems, if you need someone to talk to. And you work with the PFA, so those young players you've just talked to, they know they can come and talk to somebody who's been through it.
Well, the thing about it is these emotional challenges, these mental challenges start as emotional challenges. They start as little things. And because they're not paid attention to, they do, then they snowball into something, and it becomes a behaviour, and then before you know it, the normalised behaviour is drinking too much or gambling too much or whatever it is, but you're doing it to excess because you've not been checked or challenged, or people haven't paid attention to your behaviour changing.
I thought it was a brilliant message. Thank you for talking to us.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
So we announced last week that Eddie Breary, our promising young goalkeeper, is going to be staying with the club for another year, which is great. Caught up with him this morning, and he'd already had quite a good day. You're such a modest man. You've only just told me. Tell the people at home, what did you do this morning?
So I took my driving test this morning and I managed to pass it.
Which is, given COVID, there's been a long wait. If you had failed it, you'd have had a 6-year wait for the next one.
yeah, it took me a while to actually get there, but I'm buzzing to actually get there.
Yeah, congratulations, Eddie.
Thank you.
It's been quite a week or two then. So you're back here for another year as well, aren't you? How does that feel?
Yeah, no, I'm buzzing to be back in the building next year. It's a privilege to be here every day, I think, and to almost be told now, I think it's really good for me, because I can almost relax for a minute, just so I can be like, right, I've got a bit of security now.
You never
That's
rested.
good.
For 2 years, you've just worked your socks off, shall I say. It's just sheer hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And to get the reward of another year here is brilliant. And it'll be another year of hard work. But I think, I'm excited for it, and I'll keep working hard for it.
For the people at home, how did you get your break as a goalkeeper? Who were you playing for when Oxford spotted you?
So I was actually at Hook Norton, just my local village team near Banbury. And I was the only kid to dive about on the floor and actually want to get in the way. So, apparently that's what I wanted to do. And apparently I was decent at it. So.
Well, apparently Wayne Brown can make people better at falling about in the mud.
He can. So if you go down to his goalkeeping centre.
Oh no, don't. I know you're coaching on those.
I'll be there.
He does have a habit of improving goalkeepers. He's improved Jack, Eastie, you, Fraser's proper goalkeepers.
Yeah, 100%. Brownie, I think Brownie's a really good coach, and he helps us all individually and collectively. There's a big union between all of us, and if we have a bad day, we'll look after each other.
What's the target? You've got another a longer time, a longer stay with the U's. That's not enough, is it? You've got to be pushing to be here permanently.
Yeah, 100%. I want to make a career out of it, and this is just another stepping stone towards it. I haven't got to the final hurdle yet, but I've got over the first few. And I'm buzzing to be here, and I'm delighted to be offered a new contract.
Just mind my car in the car park, would you? So it's a sellout. You can't be there, but we'll be there to represent you and send you reports and pictures and social media, all that sort of thing. And if you are coming, you can read the programme. What has got in it?
Lots of nice things. He's got an interview with Kieran Brown, talking mainly about his experiences with Northern Ireland. There's also, there's your moving tribute to Joey Beecham. I was crying when I read that.
A lot of people cry when they read what I write.
Yeah, there is that, yeah. There's the On the Road article when we went to Plymouth. I was crying when I read that as well.
Also, you have a series going on, What's Your Favourite Dinosaur?
Yeah.
And I think Sam Baldock has actually thought about it.
He's nailed it, yeah.
I don't think he's picked the right one.
I won't tell you what he said.
No.
You have to buy the programme.
But he's clearly he's been looking through the programme. I'm going to get asked that. I'll have a think about it, because that's the way he works, isn't it?
He's a very intelligent man. Yeah.
Okay, the programme is available all around the ground.
Yeah, just £3.
How much?
£3. I mean, it's a bargain, isn't it?
I'm going to buy 3.
Yeah, I think you should.
I've just proofread it. I don't really need to, do I?
No, but that's not the point. Keep me in a job, buy the programme.
Good. Sunderland is always a big game. It's always a fantastic atmosphere and stuff. Do a pithy reminder. A reminder. Is the season over, Martin?
The season is not over. We have 5 games left, and we're only 3 points off the playoff places, and we've got a decent goal difference. It's not over yet.
Churchillian, I felt. Last couple of things to say. One is we've announced about the Hannah and Douglas House skydive, which Martin's kindly volunteered to do. Are you not doing it?
No one's actually asked me, to be fair.
Would you like to do it? I did ask you, and you went and hid in the cupboard.
Yeah, but that was... let me put it this way. No.
But you can. And it's to raise money for Helen and Douglas House. And the point of that is, if you don't want to jump out of an airplane with Martin, if you don't want to do that, put £1 coin, £2 coins in your pocket and put it in the bucket for Helen and Douglas House.
Bring some cash.
Bring some cash.
Notes will do.
Well, you can put notes. It's up to you. You could probably do all sorts of things, but don't put foreign coins or foreign notes in there.
No.
Raise some money for a really good cause. It's Carl's taken that really to heart, hasn't he?
He ran a long way.
No, he didn't. He did that for prostate cancer.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Helen and Douglas House, he's refusing to jump out of an airplane.
But
he's making
I
Amy
can
do
see his
it.
point. Yeah. Oh, that's very right.
Amy, Dwayne and Dan Harris.
Yeah. And Tom Law, I believe, as well.
Tom Law, yeah. He didn't know until I did the story. That's the way I'll work, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, that's by the by. Most important thing on Saturday is 3 points. We'll see you there.